Welcome back. Now let's talk agribusiness. Of course, we do know the factors. Indeed, the biggest employer in the country, fine. The biggest GDP contributor, almost 30 plus year in, year out, fine. And indeed, if Kenya and the rest of Africa is going to have a chance in competing with the rest of the world, it has to be agriculture, fine. That has been said over and over again, and you know that those are the facts. Then let's then start talking about how we can get there. Fantastic. That is through markets. And if you look at some of the challenges, the majority of African farmers or Kenyan farmers in that particular area are facing, it's got to be market access. Then you see how markets are moving. Now, we're talking about online markets. If you look through other industries and other sectors, you will see what is leading. It's about online markets. Everybody's talking about digital chains. But then if you look at agriculture sector, it's got a lot of value chains, and there's so many, then you're thinking, how close are we at achieving 100% digital business and agribusiness? Now, let's look at some people who are actually looking at it and saying it's possible. We can actually make it in that particular area. And I want to introduce you to My Shamba Express. But even the guy who was in the studio is not My Shamba Express because his name is Andre Shongo. But could you talk to me about My Shamba Express? Who are you guys and where are you in the value chain in agribusiness?
So first of all, thank you so much for having me here. So my name is Andrew Shonko, and I'm one of the guys who founded My Shamba Express.
Yes.
So My Shamba Express is an online platform that is offering farmers accessibility to sustainable agriculture. Because we realize that people are just doing agriculture, but how sustainable is it? In terms of when they make the investment into it, how do they get to the end part of it, which is making profit? Because if you look at our Kenyan economy, yes, 33% of it, of the GDP, is actually come directly from agriculture. Another 27% indirectly from agriculture. That tells you more than 50%. That's around 60% of the Kenyan GDP is directly impacted by agriculture. So how do we make the right investment in agriculture so that at the end of the day, this farmer or this person who have taken this choice to invest into agriculture can actually be able to get the right profits from it? Because as you know that there are a lot of investment when it comes to SMEs, that is entrepreneurship, a lot of investment on techpreneurship, yes, but very little investment when it comes to agri-preneurship.
Yes.
So we look into how do we close this gap when it comes to someone who is looking into venturing into this aspect, and we are looking into is how do we build a wholesome entrepreneur who has decided to venture into farming.
Yes.
For example, like My Shamba Express is one of the platforms whereby it's a farmer's one-stop shop, whereby from this week you can be trained on how to invest into farming. You can get the farm inputs, and at the end of everything, it offers you a platform whereby you can sell your market online. So how do you be able to get the benefits that come with the digitization of agriculture? So that is one of the most important things that you're looking into when it comes to My Shamba Express.
My Shamba Express.
Yes.
Fantastic. Andrew, I like the way you're passionate about it and you're looking at this particular figures. But just before you started My Shamba Express, what is this particular gap that you saw in agribusiness? And then you said, okay, let me start this platform. Yeah.
I think one of the areas that we really sorted and saw that there was a very big challenge was the market. Yeah?
Market access.
Yeah, market access.
What is this particular story that you saw and said, there's an opportunity here?
First of all, I'm from Narok.
Oh, yeah.
One of the areas whereby farming is really done in large scale.
Especially when it comes to wheat farming, isn't it?
Yeah. But you find like the outputs are ready, the wheat is ready, but where is the market? There is no market. People actually have to rely on these brokers, which most of the time take advantage, especially to farmers who are in perishable products. For example, we look in cases of farmers who are doing like tomato farming. Yes. You'll find like in a span of 2 to 3 days, an investment that you've injected a lot of money, an investment that has taken a lot of your time, can actually go down the stream in a span of 2 to 3 days. So we look into is how do we ensure that this farmer who is in this a sector like this one will be able to get the free online market that is there, because like right now, if you want to order any product, you just go to My Shamba Express and make your order. You can actually be able to, as a farmer, you can actually be able to list your product and tell your market that in a span of 4 weeks, my farm product will be ready.
Yeah.
So by the time you're getting to there, you already have market that you already connected with buyers out there. They've already even made their order. So you just organize on logistics of transport and so forth. So we really wanted to close that gap between the farmer who is selling their products and the market. How do we close the gap? So online was the most suitable place. So this issue of you going out, being frustrated and so forth, that one we've actually been able to close it completely.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I like the fact, so would you call yourself, I like the way you're saying, well, the people that you don't like are middlemen. But then, Andrew, is somebody going to look at you and say, but you are an online middleman as well? How do you differentiate yourself from a middleman who's going to go to the shamba and say, this is exactly what I'm going to offer you now? You either take it or I move somewhere else.
So what My Shamba Express is doing, we're actually very different from a middleman. We are a platform, because we're not actually charging farmers to do any to sell their products online. We're actually giving them this platform for free, in the aid of building capacity to a level whereby a farmer feel like, when I invest any amount of money into this, I can actually be able to get to the market direct. So that gap is actually being able to close it. We are not middlemen, because we are not actually meeting any farmer. We don't meet farmers. Farmers and buyers meet.
It's only farmers and buyers who get to meet through this platform.
Yeah, we don't actually be able to meet farmers and control them on how they will do pricing of their product. It's
so you
actually
just come on board, get your pricing.
Get your pricing. The contact is there. Get the contact of the farmer. You guys talk, have an agreement on all those other logistics that are there, but you're not really involved when it comes to matters of markets and so forth. So it's just a platform.
So it's the farmers themselves who are actually driving the prices on that platform. Which is essentially what then would differentiate you from being a middleman who will come in and tell you this is exactly what I need by this price.
Because middlemen will always want to know what is my cut at the end of this business that you guys are doing. Yeah, but for us, no cut, no,
That's it. So, but when I look at it in this sense, and market, by the way, Andrew, as you know, is a big challenge, especially when it comes to agriculture in this country. So, I want to ask you, why would I join My Shamba? Does it have, who are you working with, partners, so that somebody can even say, can I sell my goods in Tanzania if Tanzania is going to give me a good price? Can I actually take my goods to Ethiopia? It's going to give me a good price.
So actually we have a lot of other partners that already come on board. We are really working on especially the county government, the national government, non-governmental organization, to look even into ways whereby we can incorporate the aspect of exports and so on. Because if you look like right now, agriculture is taking around 65% of in terms of exports in our economy. So we want to look into how do we actually increase it, because there are lots of markets out there, but how do we link these farmers to this market? So those are some of the things that we're looking into, working with various organizations and governmental organizations and various institutions that are actually working to see how agriculture and feeding the country, how sustainable can we, because like right now, you know, most of the Kenyan, a big percentage of Kenyan are actually, we say, living like below $1 a day. And that means, like, if you do figuratively, maybe in a month, that means they are earning very little. But if we can be able to incorporate these people, because agriculture does not require a lot of skill for you to do it. You just need some basic trainings in terms of how it's done and so forth. And you can be able to even to source employment from this. So we are looking holistically on how we can be able to give these farmers as much market as possible, be it Kenya, Uganda, because online platform can actually be accessed anywhere. So that is another thing, that how do we close the gap of time? Because, like, for example, if I wanted to source a lot of maize, let's go to Rift Valley, I'll have to take a matatu, go there, then start asking around. But just with a click of a button, you have what you want. There are a lot of people who have already listed their products there. Just a search, you have that contact, and you've already initiated the communication.
Isn't it? Somebody said this again, Andrew, you will tell me whether I have a point on this particular area, because if you look at the average age for a farmer in the country, 54 years of age. So you're dealing with, I would say, the adult population in this country. And then they said, one of the reasons that Kenya has not really then broken the ceiling when it comes to agribusiness going digital, because some of these people then that you're dealing with, majority of them are not the technologically enabled, or let's say tech-savvy people within the economy. Have you faced that challenge in the sense of, yes, you have guys who use it, but then you have to train them to use it?
Actually, it's one of the challenges that we have, but one of the things we also want to encourage even institutions of higher learning and so forth, because like right now, if someone will not really want to be associated, like a youth will not really be associated like you went to school to study agriculture. You see, like there has been a notion that agriculture is for the old, but it's not.
Cool.
There are a lot of young people who actually have quitted very good careers, invested a lot in agriculture, and they are doing so well right now. So it's really a notion that we really need to change. But to answer your question on terms of tech savvy for those old guys and so forth, we are looking into ways whereby we will offer something like a consultancy service.
Yes.
Whereby if you really don't have that a tech phone that can we have accessible, because we have farmers who request also these products online. So if, for example, you doing sorghum, for example, you are of that age, you don't have a smartphone, we can actually be able to tell you there are buyers who are requesting for this product, do you have it? So we are looking into ways whereby guys can actually be able, there is already a number that guys can actually be able to call.
Yes.
And this market that we have available of guys who've been requesting, and we can actually be able to link them. So we're trying to close that gap in all aspects.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Which therefore takes me to my next question. If indeed that is a challenge, Andrew, have you been able to onboard farmers onto your platform? What strategy have you been using just to penetrate the market?
So right now, we currently doing online. There is a link that you can just go to www.myshamba.express/register. You can register and actually be able to start listing your products. So we already have farmers that are already on board and they are using our platform. They are already selling their product there. But we also involving, this is not really our platform. We're trying to push it, especially on the rural area, because you find that is, those are most of the areas farmers are.
Yes.
So another very important thing that we are doing is training and development, because we know that there is a lot that needs to be done on the ground, at least to make these people understand why this is very, very important when it comes to growth of agriculture and so forth. So we are really building teams from various level of the county level.
Yes.
Yeah, to be able to have agents on the ground who can be able to onboard people and who can also be able to organize training. Because like I had said, like people are venturing, for example, if someone has, they have their like 50,000, they venture direct, for example, into poultry farming. But there are a lot of other aspects that comes when it's not just injecting money. How do you see a wholesome the end of it before you get into it? So we're doing a lot of trainings on the ground to be able to onboard these guys and also train them to have this knowledge and information that if you do this and this, you'll be able to increase your yields. We have guys that that are consulting with us, agronomists, veterinaries, and a lot of other guys who have interest in agriculture.
Yes. I like the way you keep on talking about My Shamba Express. I'm very much interested in knowing how you've morphed from when you started. You know, they say you get into the market in that particular, and you say this is the gap, but then there are other issues that are touched in that particular area. How would you say you've morphed as a business from when you started up to where you're right now? Solutions that you're giving right now that you never thought that you could attach to your platform?
I think one of the areas that I can see we really didn't expect that it will grow that fast, it's the one that I'm repeating in terms of training.
Yes.
There are a lot of guys who really need this information. And even when you go to a Facebook page, you'll see like most people are asking, because we've done several training, most are asking like, when will you guys come to our place? When will you guys organize training in Kisumu? When will you come to
farmers who are really asking about these questions.
Yeah, they're actually the one with even calling us like, we saw that you did training in this place. When are you organizing one for us? So that is one of the area that we can really say that it's coming out well.
Yes.
And that means the desire that these guys have, because someone maybe has invested 2-3 times, it has not yielded anything, but when they see a place whereby they can be trained, so forth, it's really coming in handy. Another thing that we were really looking into is to partner with credit firms. Yeah, because we also want to see into ways whereby these farmers can also get some credits, because you find like there are some of financial institutions like in terms of security for the loan, which has also been a challenge, because like you're telling someone, I want to enter into poultry farming, what is your security for this, the risk associated with it. So they are really shunning away from offering them these credit services.
Yes.
But they are institutions that their credit is agri-based. Yeah, they are looking into farmers that they can partner with. So we are grateful that there are others that have already come on board, and we hope that as we go by, we'll be able to build our economy through agriculture.
Pretty much. Now here you speak, you're saying, well, right now you're even looking at different businesses as well. Is that what you see My Shamba Express grow into, in the sense of, other than just being a marketplace? That's how you guys started out, that you're going to be the solution to everything agriculture. Because I hear you talking about extension services, the credit and all that. Is that the vision for My Shamba Express? And how long are we going to take before we say that?
Wow, I cannot project, but from how things are going, because we have a lot of people who have really shown interest into it. We have even, like for example, farmers can actually be able to order their farm inputs. For example, if you are in Kitale and you want some fertilizers, you just go there, log in, and order your fertilizer from these institutions.
You're saying that the other institutions also put in their prices on that particular one?
Like those,
so they can actually get to compare prices.
And others like that are selling fertilizers, that are selling these pesticides and so on. You can actually be able to order from there. So we want this to be a one-stop shop whereby a farmer can access everything that they want from there. We also want to look, as I had said, to partner with this county government. We really want to also push them, because it's their mandate to ensure that these farmers actually, a lot of promises that they made, because sometimes it becomes very hard for farmers like to go and push them, but we're also looking into ways whereby we can go and ask them these questions. You guys told your farmers that you'll be able to give them 1, 2, 3. So what plans do you have? How can we partner with you to ensure that these farmers of this place that you promised when you were asking for this vote, that will be able to inject this amount of money? Where is that money? Because accountability is very key when it comes to us. So it's something that we are looking at, a multifaceted thing, not only like a marketplace and it's done. No.
Pretty much. So now, talk to me about these value chains that we keep on talking about. And Andrew, you are youth as well. And the guys were saying, well, I hope you call yourself a farmer. Because essentially you are a farmer.
I am.
Talk to me about these value chains. Do you think majority of youth have really realized that indeed, if you're going to make it as a youth, we're talking about unemployment and all this, that indeed where you need to plug in is in the value chains. Do you think majority of us have realized that, or we're still on the idea for a farmer is one who carries a djembe and goes to the farm?
I think we really need to do some, come up with policies and education, especially to let someone know that it's not really, the djembe only take a very small part, because after that there is the issue of value addition that you can jump into it. There is the issue of logistics and transport uses. After farmers done harvesting, this product needs to be transported from one place to the other. So there are very, very many avenues that these young people can actually be able to come in. There are services that are needed. These guys need to be trained. You can actually come in, go do research, and then like partner with specialists. You organize trainings and be able to. So there are a lot of along the value chain before we get to the final. There is packaging, a lot of, there is packaging, marketing, you know, before
There's a
this,
value addition as well that
before
yes.
this gets to the table of the consumer, you can actually look for a place that you can jump in. Instead of like, people are really career, yeah, you know, like someone is focused, this is what I want. But look at it this way, there are legal aspect of agriculture. You can actually venture into the legal part of when it comes to the matters of agriculture, public relation. You see, there are very, very many aspects that people can actually be able to jump in when it comes to agriculture. So they really need to look this in all rounded and be able to see which and where they can. And actually, it's like a free area that most people has not ventured in. Yeah, and you will find like we really need to change notion and the discussion about agriculture. It's actually not about the djembe and going to the shamba. There is more. Yeah, these farmers need to be supplied with farm inputs. You can actually be able to organize on how they can be supplied, and you get your token from there and so forth.
Pretty much. Yeah. So when you look at the conversations that you've been having with county governments, by the way, and you're the right person for me to ask that question because they keep on stressing on improving productivity in the counties, investments in the counties. Have they been receptive, Andrew? You say that as a young man telling them, by the way, I can open up this county to markets across the region, even the world. Could you talk to me? How do you gauge their reception, Andrew?
I think that has also been one of the challenge that we're really facing and trying to mitigate it, because like the recipient not really as you've expected, but now you have to keep pushing them. They have to know that actually if there is nothing you can do. You have to do this right now and do it right away, because if you have to take this county to the next level, you have to invest in agriculture, because in terms of direct involvement and of the county economy is almost 100%. Most of the counties comes from agriculture. So though the receptive has not been that good, but there are those who are like getting into it and getting to know like if we really invest into it, we'll be able to curb the issue of unemployment and so forth. And when you curb the issue of unemployment, other things like insecurity, they are not there, because people have cash in their pockets. Why would they bother going to be involved in some other issues?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, paint for me a picture, and then I've got a direct question to you that somebody actually put across to you, was looking at your platform. But just before you answer that, in just 1 minute, could you paint for me a picture of exactly how my Shamba Express is going to look probably in the next 5 years or so?
Wow, for me, 5 years is a lot, because I believe we've really put in a lot of measure to be able to see where we will be. But for me, in the next 5 years, I'm looking into a lot of exports. Having open markets in terms of exports. I'm looking at my Shamba Express having taken over East Africa and Africa at large as a platform whereby we'll be having millions and millions of farmers who are using into it. I'm looking at a platform whereby in terms of supply of farm inputs in Africa, people will be able to access those farm inputs. I'm looking at a community of farmers, a global village where farmers can be able to reach, have access to information, because we are doing a lot, especially in research and development, to be able to share this information through our blogs, through the articles that we are doing. So I'm looking at a platform whereby it will be a home for everyone. Every home will have a meal and food to partake.
Fantastic. All right, which means then that you're going to have 2 minutes to respond to some of the direct questions that I got. This is Andrew, by the way, your namesake, asking an app soon so that we could interact with my Shamba Express. Is that in the plans?
Yeah, it is. It is actually on the pipeline.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now we are really working, because we want this to be as easy as possible. When you get there, you can be able to get that app, install it in your phone. So an app is actually coming.
Fantastic.
Yeah, is coming.
Good. Somebody's also asking, I'm not interested in agriculture directly. Can I log onto the platform And then how can I benefit if I'm not really interested in doing the business in agriculture? Is there a way I can benefit
As I said,
if I'm not a farmer?
As I said,
Yes.
this is not only an agricultural based platform.
Yes.
Through the value chain, you can actually benefit a lot. Like there is a friend of mine who is in dealing with the matters of logistics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are farmers who ask for the buyers who ask that they want their product to be transported maybe from up country to Nairobi. You can jump in there.
Yes.
There are farmers who are looking into to get these farm inputs to be supplied to them. You can actually supply to them. So this is a platform for each and every person.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Andrew, thank you very much for visiting Look at Business.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll have you again so we can talk about your app.
I'll be available.
Yeah? So we can talk about youth issues in agribusiness. Fantastic. Want to know more about My Shamba Express? You do know what to do. Talk to us at Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiage Simba on our Twitter. Thank you very much for those who've actually spoken to us right now. And even yesterday, when we told you that My Shamba Express will be right here in the studio. This is Look at Business.
Are you looking to turn your passion to purpose? Vera Beauty and Fashion College now brings you online classes at the comfort of your home. We are a TVET-approved institution with over 20 years experience in training competency-based courses in fashion design and creative arts, cosmetology, hairdressing, beauty therapy, interior design in soft furnishings, event decoration and flower arrangement, hospitality and catering, and training of trainers. To enroll, call us today on 0704 577 577 or visit our website at www.verabeautycollege.com. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a center of excellence.
Help me identify a beautiful womb. I never came across one till I got to Vera.
Honestly, I should have had a season of being a makanga.
Wow.
Just to be cool.
I think there's a perception in our society, the doctor, the engineer. I want to start adulting.
Hey.
You know what I mean? I don't want my child talking funny, please.
K for cabbage.
Hi there, my name is George Washiri. I am so happy to see you, and today I am here to enumerate, to explain how we package our land investment. We have 5 levels of our property, and we classify these levels as 1 star, 2 stars, 3 star, 4 star, and 5 star. This is what we mean, that if you buy a property that is 1 star with Optiven, one of the things that is evident, the property is cheaper, is below $500,000. And this particular property is basically bare land. We only do subdivision, put the beacons, and then produce titles. The second level, we call it 2 star. This is prime land, whereby we grade the roads, we put a marking fence, do the beacons, and produce titles. The third level, we call it 3 stars. This 3 star is value added plots. We do the malam, we do the water, we do the mesh fence, and there's a caretaker on site. The fourth level is 4 star. 4 star is ready to build development. We do very nice maram roads, we plant the trees, we put the water tower, we also put a caretaker on site, and finally, the 5 star. The 5 star is premier, it's the top level, and this one, we do cable roads, we do
water management through underground culverts. We do underground power. We do fountain for water. We do beautiful and nice permanent gates.
We do perimeter wall and also do install the CCTV, and the whole property is manned by uniformed security. Some of these properties, these 5-star properties, we do a clubhouse and also construct swimming pool. Thank you once more for trusting Optiven. We value you. We are at Absa Plaza, 14th floor and 15th floor. God bless you.